Hello again to another Agakala Reacts, and today we will be watching What on Earth is Bermuda from the Geography Bible. And obviously I heard about Bermuda Triangle for pretty much all my life. Not so much in past decade or more. It kind of changed, it's less about that, but let's just watch and see. There's obviously going to be an explanation about it. So.
Found across the western North Atlantic is one of the most mysterious and notorious stretches of water on the planet. It's a place that isn't geographically official, yet it is known around the world, especially by pilots and sailors. It is no other than the Devil's Triangle, or as it's more commonly known, the Bermuda Triangle. I remember watching documentaries and YouTube videos about this stretch of water as a kid and being unbelievably terrified of it. Some 50 ships and 20 planes have gone missing in this particular region for seemingly unknown reasons. Some theories blame their disappearance on rogue waves, some on giant methane bubbles, some claim it's aliens or a portal to a different universe, or most likely it's because the compass in this region does not point towards the magnetic north, but towards the true north. This strange phenomenon leads to confusion in navigation, which results in ships and planes getting lost. The triangle stretches from Florida to Puerto Rico to Bermuda, hence the name. Now, most people are familiar with the Bermuda Triangle, but what about Bermuda itself? It's
Actually,
an
I don't know
extremely
much about it.
interesting and unique place for many different reasons.
Yeah, already. Yeah, so like he kind of said, like obviously I heard about the Bermuda Triangle, but I don't think I know much about the Bermuda itself. So sorry, I just got really distracted with this ad for Adobe. So like I was saying, I don't know much about the Bermuda Islands itself. I'm kind of even confused, like not confused but surprised a little bit now that on the map was basically marked as a part of UK. I did not know that. So, okay. I wonder what kind of climate is it, because for some reason I always was thinking it's more like a Caribbean place. So, you know, like tropical islands and stuff like that. So I might be surprised that it's not, but maybe it is. So yeah, and this ad is long, so I'll see you in a second. Okay, so we're back, and we're gonna be back jumping right into the Bermuda, because why not?
Most people probably only know it as a super rich tax haven island,
Oh, is it?
as well as its infamous connection to the Bermuda Triangle. But that's probably it. So in this video, we're going to take a deeper dive into this tiny but very interesting territory.
So it is British territory.
So found quite literally in the middle of nowhere, you'll find the island territory of Bermuda. The closest landmass to the territory is Cape Hatteras in North Carolina, some nearly 1,000 kilometers away. Some 1,200 kilometers southwest of Bermuda is where you'll run into the closest Caribbean islands. Now, even though Bermuda is kind of close to the Caribbean, it is not classed as a Caribbean island. So, is Bermuda a country? If not, who owns it? Well, if you take a look at its flag, you'll instantly know who owns it. It is of course the Brits. However, I say owns it loosely, as the island is self-governing. The people and government rule themselves, but the UK takes care of its external affairs, security and defence. The territory is absolutely tiny. It covers an area of just 54 kilometers squared, which, if its own country, would rank it as the 5th smallest on Earth. It's over double the size of Tuvalu, but just smaller than San Marino. The territory is an archipelago consisting of around 138 islands, with 7 of them being classed as its main islands. The territory has a very interesting shape. It kind of looks like a fishing hook, right? So across this 54 kilometers squared, there are 64,000 people who call Bermuda home. This gives us a population density of around 1,200 people per kilometer squared, which makes it a very densely populated territory. In fact, the 12th most densely populated territory on the planet. But what makes this island so special and famous is its enormous wealth. According to the World Bank and UN, Bermuda is the 4th richest place on Earth in terms of GDP per capita, at around 120,000 US dollars. The territory is especially attractive for people with money, as the people and companies of the island do not pay tax. Hence why, even though the island is so small, there are so many large companies and corporations based there, especially those in insurance and finance. Bermuda being home to so many rich people, as well as having to import literally everything across to the middle of nowhere, has therefore led to the island gaining a notorious title in many rankings and indexes, as the most expensive place in the world to live. The capital city of the island is Hamilton, which is known to be especially expensive. Now, speaking of money, what currency do you think is used on the island? Maybe the British pound or US dollars? Well, no, the territory actually has its own currency, the Bermuda dollar.
Well, yeah, British territories do that, doesn't it? Like even Northern Ireland and Scotland have their own pounds.
However, although the US dollar is not an official currency, it is used interchangeably on the island. Although incredibly small both in terms of size and population, its economy is impressively large. So at the time of making this video, its GDP is around 7.5 billion US dollars, ranking the territory around the 148th in the world. That's a larger economy than the likes of Maldives, Fiji or Barbados. With the territory being owned by the Brits, English is of course the official language here, with the accents of the Bermudians apparently having an interesting twang to it. Due to geographical and historical influences, it is described to sound somewhere in between British, American and West Indian.
Well, I guess that's what happens with languages, isn't it? That basically you're kind of like not exactly connected to the place. Like actually, if you think about it, UK and Ireland themselves, they're speaking English here, and you go to one part of the country and you hear different accent, and you go to other part of the country, hear different accent. Excuse me. So it's not surprising that the island that's separated, it's gonna have totally different accent again. So yeah, that's what it is, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, I'm back, and let's just go back to the video again. The second ad, I keep getting like a short ad and a really long ad, so...
Get back a minute. How did the Brits end up owning this random island in the middle of nowhere? I'll summarize it nicely. So in 1502, the islands were first discovered by the Spanish. 107 years later, English settlers accidentally arrived on the island after being hit by a storm. By 1612, the Virginia Company had begun to settle on the archipelago. The Virginia Company was a trading company chartered by the king to colonize the east coast of America. The company created the capital and town of New London, which was later renamed to St. George's as it's still named today. It is the oldest surviving English town in what is known as the New World, aka South, Central and North America. Ever since, the archipelago has remained as a British territory.
Are really nice.
Its position is strategically beneficial to the Brits. However, it almost ended in 1995 as a referendum took place to seek independence, which didn't end up passing. Skip forward to current times, and the island is one of the richest, most prosperous and developed places on Earth. In the Human Development Index, it scores 0.981, which is higher than Switzerland, who ranks first in the official index. Now, the architecture of the island gives it a very unique charm. The style is known as UK colonial, where a lot of the buildings are of British colonial design and aesthetic, but at the same time you have a lot of very colourful buildings, especially with the use of pastel colours. But then the territory is very hot and sees huge hurricanes, so has to build accordingly, which gives the island a blend of vibrant, practical and colonial building styles. If any of you have £7.5 million lying around, this is the type of house you can get with your money. So let's now move on to the geography of the island. So as previously mentioned, it is rather small and found pretty far away from any other landmass. The island, as you'd expect, is of tropical nature with crystal clear blue waters, white sand and palm trees. One thing the island is particularly known for is its pink sand beaches, which get their colour from the result of coral and shells being pulverised together. The island is very flat overall. Its elevation is just 38 metres and its highest point just 79, which is about the height of the average onshore wind turbine. According to the Köppen climate classification, Bermuda lies in the transition zone between tropical rainforest and humid subtropical climate. Its summers are hot and humid, while its winters are mild to semi-warm. So its climate sounds very desirable and livable. Well, that's if you don't take into account the hurricanes it sometimes receives. The island unfortunately finds itself in what is known as the Hurricane Belt, an area prone to storms and hurricanes usually from June to November. In 2003, the most powerful of them all battered Bermuda. The hurricane was classed as level 3 and saw wind speeds up to 150 miles per hour. It killed 4 people and caused $300 million worth of damage. So there we have it, the territory of Bermuda explained in a nutshell. Now if you were super rich, is this somewhere you'd like to live?
Yes, if I'll be super rich, yes, probably. No, I don't think so. Although taking into account
like this, and as always, thank you very much for watching.
I would love to go there, but to maybe have a house there and go there from time to time. But it's I don't know. It looks like it's very like it's the whole congestion, not congestion, the population that it's so big and stuff like that. Like I can't find words. The population that it's so a lot of people in a really small area, so it's quite busy there. I guess you can kind of see that pretty much everywhere there are houses. So it's like there's no. Anyway, would like to go. Definitely would go there and just spend there maybe a month or two, kind of leaving and trying to know and see the place because it looks really nice. Oh, forgot to do this one. Oh yeah. So yeah, would you like to go to? If you be super rich, would you go to Bermuda to live there? Because the hurricane is just kind of that. You could probably live with it because people do, obviously. So yeah, thank you very much for watching and I see you tomorrow. Bye.